on Raising Equity, we're going to tackle colorism. Colorism is when we advantage people who are lighter skin and disadvantage people who are darker skin tone. And it's alive and well in the Black community, but it's everywhere. It's in Korea and India and the Caribbean and Brazil. Well, rather than list where it is, I should just list where it isn't. Colorism influences our ideas about self-concept, attraction, affiliation, how we form impressions of people, upward mobility. It's been linked to disparities in income, employment, marriage rates, and even criminal sentencing. So it has real-life consequences. And people who hold these colorist beliefs about themselves and appropriate that have been found to do things like skin bleaching, like we've seen from Sammy Sosa or Azalea Banks, which is a $10 billion industry. And also people do things like hair straightening or body modification, like plastic surgery and narrowing their nose. So these ideas not only have implications for people's lives, but also for their sense of well-being and how they see themselves. The roots of colorism is white supremacy, which says being white is superior, and then colonialism, which exported that idea and imposed their culture on other people in other lands. And some people say that when racism goes away, if it ever does, that colorism will just take its place with darker skinned people being at the bottom of the social ladder. And so I think while we're tackling racism, we might as well also tackle colorism. With kids, it's really important that we tackle colorism directly because they're getting all sorts of ideas about who's beautiful and what's attractive from TV, movies, and music. So unless we as adults interrupt that learning, that socialization, kids are gonna perpetuate colorism. So we need to be mindful about the judgments and distinctions we make as adults about skin tone. Things like, oh, she's really pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Or don't stay out in the sun too long. Or the he's so dark jokes. It's not okay. We're perpetuating colorism when we allow those sorts of statements to go unchecked. We need to affirm variations in skin tone. For little kids, we need to make sure that the books they have, the posters that they see, affirm a wide variety of skin tone, and in particular that they affirm dark skin tone. So look for opportunities to talk about, oh, how beautiful that brown skin is, look how beautiful your brown skin is. Find ways to affirm dark skin tone because oftentimes that goes unsaid. And so it's important with little kids in particular to start early and often. With older kids, you want to start having conversations and asking, who's considered cute or troublesome? Does any of that have anything to do with skin tone? I had one of my kids say, someone said, well, you can't fight if you're light skinned. Like only dark skinned kids could fight, like they were naturally more violent or aggressive. And you might have heard about Gabrielle Union, who had conversations with her sons about what they see as beautiful. And she realized that their model of beauty was a light-skinned girl. And so she showed them examples of dark brown-skinned girls that were beautiful. But the reality is that's just one conversation. It's long-term work, and we have to acknowledge the long-standing pattern of colorism. And if we have any fighting chance to push back, that it requires we start early and continue to have these conversations over time. We also need to be asking our own children about their thoughts about their skin tone. Gospel star Erica Campbell was really taken aback and surprised when her daughter shared that she had been called darky and felt that people treated her differently because of her skin tone, and she even questioned her own beauty. And so as a parent, we might think that us doting on our kids, telling them how beautiful or handsome they are is enough. But if we're not tackling colorism head on, we're missing part of the picture. So we've got to raise equity, not just hope that these ideas go away. We've got to be intentional and on purpose about pushing back against colorism because we want our kids to grow up and not be playing these team dark skin, light skin games.